Hi, it's Jon Davies here. I thought it'd be useful if I made a few videos while we're all off on lockdown, stuck at home during the coronavirus crisis. And the first video is going to make about the financial support available for you and your business due to coronavirus. Now, this is changing day by day and is correct as of today, the 27th of March. And today, this video is about what support is available for the director and owner of a limited company. So what support is available? Well, to you personally, to be honest, not very much. I'll come back to what there is later, but it's not as generous as what is available for self-employed or even the employees. But there is quite a lot of support available for your business. Now, firstly, what direct cash can you get from the government? The first amount of direct cash would be through the job retention scheme. Now, this is where if you need to lay off your workers or furlough them, to use the term that's being used, the government will pay their wages for up to 3 months. Now, the government will pay up to 80% of their gross pay and also pay the employer's NI and any pension contributions on top. It is capped at £2,500 per month per worker of gross pay. That's the most the government will pay you, and that's the 80%. It is up to you whether you want to pay the additional to your employee. Now, to furlough one of your staff to be eligible for this scheme, you will need HR advice. There is actually a slight legal process to go through to make sure it's correct. And while your employee is off, they can't do any work for you at all. They really are off. They can do a bit of online training, but no actually work to either generate revenue or to provide services to your business. And those are the words that are used in the guidance. It can actually be backdated to the 1st of March. So if you've already laid somebody off, you can actually effectively bring them back onto your payroll and pay them through this. And the idea is really to avoid businesses getting rid of staff permanently, because this gives them a 3-month window where the government pays them. It allows you hopefully to come through this and through to the other side. I guess it's particularly useful if you have a business that's been forced to close during the lockdown, or if that closure has had a knock-on effect to you because your clients are closed and therefore there's no income coming in. So it means your staff are looked after for 3 months and hopefully they can come back to full-time employment with you at the end of that. The next amount of cash available to you directly is actually statutory sick pay for your team. If anybody who is working has coronavirus, they can have statutory sick pay from day 1. Usually have to wait till the 4th day they're off before statutory sick pay. But more importantly to you in many ways is the fact the government will pay it for the first 2 weeks. Ordinarily you pay it and can't be claimed. So in this instance, the government will pay. It's £94 a week for 2 weeks. So basically just under £190 they'll pay you. Then also, if you have premises, you may be eligible for a £10,000 grant. This is available for businesses who get small business rates relief. That means, in effect, the rateable value of your premises is less than £15,000. Now, what we're seeing with our clients actually that there's a bit of a division here over those who actually pay the rates directly to the council and those who pay them to a landlord. Now, to get this, you are going to have to be the person who pays it to the council, not via a landlord. Otherwise, it's the landlord, it's the rate payer, because it's the local councils, the local authorities who will be administering this grant, and to an extent they'll be using their records to see who is and isn't eligible. The idea being that your local authority will pay this £10,000 to you in April 2020. So it's worth just checking that the agreement you actually have to see whether you are eligible. So they're the amounts of cash that actually be paid to you by the government. Some of the other support they brought in is more about deferring payments to help ease your cash flow right now. The first of those is VAT. So basically any VAT bill due to be paid between the 20th of March and the 30th of June 2020 does not have to be paid until 31st of March 2021. Now the point is then it still does have to be paid. This is just easing your cash flow. It gives you a bit of support during this crisis. Similarly, for your self-assessment, if you have an income tax payment on account due on 31st of July 2020, you won't have to pay it until 31st of January 2021. It gets pushed back 6 months to give you a bit of a room to manoeuvre while all this is going on. It's also been said that HMRC will be far more lenient over their time to pay arrangements. This is where you are unable to actually make the cash payment for any of the taxes, whether that's corporation tax, PAYE, VAT, or income tax. And you'll be able to negotiate a time to pay, i.e. either to pay later or instalments. This facility has actually always been there, but HMRC will be more lenient over who they allow to use it during these times. The other amount of support for, I guess, in terms of cash flow is there is a new loan scheme, the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme, which is being guaranteed by the government. When they first announced some of the measures for businesses, they talked about £330 billion for this. Now, this is them actually not actually giving it to you, it's guaranteeing the loans to make it easier for you to get credit. The idea being that the government will guarantee 80% of the loan, but to an extent for you, it's a case of going to the lender, and this might help your case in getting that loan. Now, each of the lenders are taking slightly different views on who is ultimately on the hook if the business can't pay. For some, it will still be you. For some, it will be the government. There's been some criticism over this. But please do look into that before taking out these loans. The good thing, though, is the government will pay the interest on these loans for the first 12 months and also any arrangement fees. So they should be quite affordable loans. And if you're able to repay in 12 months, there'll be no interest at all. So that's really good. Now, that's what's available for the business. On a personal side, as a director of a limited company, there's not actually much available for you directly. You could actually furlough yourself potentially for the job retention scheme. The slight issue with that is the wording says you can't provide any services to the business or generate any revenue for the business. Now, as a director, that's quite tricky in a way because even if you're just paying some suppliers or reviewing the VAT quarter, whatever it might be, in many ways that's providing a service to the company. So if you're one director firm, it's quite tricky to be genuinely furloughed. Now, we hope that common sense prevails there and can be seen that actually if you're not really doing the normal work you would be doing and are just doing a few bits and bobs, perhaps even a bit of marketing to try and generate revenue when it opens again, that there's a potential to be furloughed there and have 80% of your salary covered. Now, it's quite likely, of course, that salary is only in the region of £700 to pay a tax-efficient director's salary, but even if you get 80% of that, that would be a great help. The other thing available to you and to everyone is that the government is asking lenders to give anyone a 3-month holiday on the mortgage repayments. It is, again, it's just deferring it. It will be repayable and there'll be interest paid on that holiday. At least it just frees a bit of cash for the next 3 months, these kind of turbulent times. I guess the other one is, as mentioned earlier, that you can actually defer your income tax payment on the 31st of July. Other than that, really the nudging towards perhaps universal credit, although there's been like a huge queue and wait as 500,000 have applied for that in the last week. So that's what's available to you now. So for your business, there is generally some really good support from the government there if you are eligible, particularly around is paying the staff, and if you do have premises, potentially have £10,000, which could be a great help right now. For you personally, there's not as much support, to be honest, as there is for either employees or the self-employed, but that's how it is right now. Now, like I say, we'll keep you updated. It's the 27th of March today. So things are changing and we'll update these videos. If you'd like to watch any other of our other videos, we've got a separate one on self-employment, a separate one on retail and hospitality industry, and we'll be adding more as we go along, both about the support that's available and also some of the things you can be doing during the lockdown to help you and your business going forwards. Now, I hope you found it useful. If you'd like any more info, please do get in touch. Just use the details below and we'd love to help you. Thank you.